Good morning, people of the YouTube. It is Saturday morning, and I got a big day ahead of me, which I will tell you more about later. But yeah, we're doing a Q&A because you have a lot of questions, especially from my man Manuel. So I'm going to start off with some easy questions. He wants to know if I would like to have a marmot as a pet. Duh, of course I would. That would be so cool. Maybe if I were in the Sierras or Washington, or I guess Oregon too. If I could have a marmot in my backyard, that would be cool. Have a little friend, and then maybe I could go ski jump with him. Cause that's another question, and apparently, I don't know, can you do that? But yeah, maybe. And he also wants to know if I'm actually gonna steal my sister's baby. And I mean, I don't want to be in trouble with the law, so I'm not gonna reveal too much here on YouTube, but I might steal my sister's baby. See, I'm already in trouble. I might steal my sister's baby for a short period of time. Maybe. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and clean the apartment, and I will check in with you later. Heck, I might even give you a little tour. My first chore for the day is done. The apartment is cleaned. Manuel, I'm gonna try and combine some of your questions because you have so many. So here are the questions. What improvements could be made along the PCT? What kind of supplies in town, food gear, communications, charging, Wi-Fi, dog mayors, etc. need to be more of along the trail? And any mosquito advice for 2020 hikers? I already forgot what I read. So yeah, improvements, get rid of the mosquitoes. Seriously, the mosquitoes are so bad. Like, I thought I knew what a lot of mosquitoes looked like and felt like and sounded like, but no, I had no idea. The mosquitoes that we found in Yosemite, it was a nightmare. It was hell on earth. There were so many mosquitoes. Like, I could count the mosquito bites on my leg, and I had hundreds on each leg. Luckily, my bites don't itch. But the boys were going crazy. Like, literally crazy. And you couldn't, like, they were everywhere. You were going nuts. When you were walking, you had mosquitoes everywhere, and you felt them, and you heard them, and, like, you can't do anything. And even if you have clothes on, they will bite through the fabric of your legs. No, not my legs. Well, that too, actually. But your pants and shirt. And even if you have a head net on, they will find holes to eat through the net. So, monsters. So please, less of the mosquitoes. I know the PCT is supposed to be an adventure and all that, but you're supposed to take the good with the bad. But no, not those mosquitoes. So, less of the mosquitoes. Advice for 2020 hikers: be prepared. We thought that the worst of the mosquitoes would come in Oregon, so we were not prepared when we got to Yosemite. Like, we had bug spray and one head net because the rest of us were waiting in Oregon. So we got ambushed. And if you're gonna buy bug spray, do not buy those organic, natural sprays because they don't work. You need DEET. I know people don't, or some people are not a big fan of DEET, but it's the only thing that works. Buy the worst thing you can possibly find and you'll have a chance, but buy a head net, buy bug spray, DEET bug spray, buy some kind of fabric that they can't bite through, and run. Like when you're walking, run. When you're sitting down, try and stay as still as possible, because they will charge you, and they will be like in every inch of the air. There will be mosquitoes, 10 of them. But once you've been sitting down for a couple of minutes, they will calm down. We tried to tell Randy this, but he wouldn't listen. So of course all the mosquitoes went to Randy, the guy who needed it the least, because he was going the most crazy. But just sit down and relax, and they will calm down. They won't stop though, but they'll calm down. What we need is, I guess, in Oregon and Washington, it would be nice to have more normal convenience stores along the trail, because once you reach Oregon, it's mostly just little resorts on the trail, and it's expensive, and they don't have a lot. So I wouldn't mind to have more options along the way. Also wouldn't mind having more dog mayors. So can we please do that? Every town needs a dog mayor. Or heck, why not a marmot mayor? By the way, the apartment is cleaned, so if you want a tour, I can give you one. What is this? I'll give you a tour. Look at this. Welcome to my apartment tour. This is our kitchen. Yep, that's about it. And this is where you enter our apartments. That is actually my roommate's dog, Lily. So, got the hallway here. We got the bathroom. This is Mother's room. And this is the living room / my room. So we got the couch. We got the TV. We got the dog couch. And don't worry, I already gave this plant some water. He's just recovering. And this is my bed. So if you're wondering how you can afford a thru hike, you sleep on a bed on the floor in a living room. That's how you save money. And this is my neighbors and our rainy Stockholm. Yup. Well, that's how I live. I'm gonna go to the store now, so maybe you can tag along. Do I like ABBA? Yeah, ABBA's okay. It's not something I listen to regularly, but if a song comes on, I might sing to it. What's my education? I studied animal care in high school, I guess. So when you studied animal care, you can work in like a pet shop, which I've done several years, or you can work at a zoo, and it's a good start if you want to be a veterinary. So yeah, I haven't studied anything else. Did anything make me mad on trail? Yes. People that don't make a cat hole. Because another question is, did you ever see places where people didn't bury their poop? And we did. I like to think they're not PCT hikers, but I can't say for sure. But that made me mad, because just go somewhere not close to the trail or camping spot and just dig a hole, people. It's not that hard. So that made me mad. And the mosquitoes, of course. Other than that, no, it all comes with the territory, I guess. Another question I got was how speaking English for 6 months affected me coming back home. And definitely did. Because I know when I was in the US hiking, I was thinking in English, and I still do that. Not all the time, I think, but it definitely happens. It also happens that I sometimes don't know the word in Swedish. Like, well, I know it, obviously, but I can't remember it, so I have to say it in English. Whew. And so yeah, I still think in English, and I still sometimes lose my translation, so that's weird. So it does affect you. Any gear advice for hikers, for 2020 hikers? Don't bring as much as you are planning on in the beginning, because you really don't need that much. If you want to go lightweight, do that, but it does cost a lot more money. So if you don't have the money, you don't have to go lightweight. It works anyway. But don't bring as much stuff as you think you will need. Don't bring too much clothes. Don't bring unnecessary things. But if you do, you will find out along the trail and you will dump them. So don't stress about that. You can never have too many green beans. How much gear did I lose and find on trail? I didn't really lose anything. I lost some socks that I forgot at camp in the morning, which is pretty easy because you hang them out to dry the night before and then you pack up and you forget to pick them up. So I did lose some socks, but I think that's about it. Oh yeah, I did forget my tent sticks in Julian at the hotel, but I just had to go back the day after and pick them up, so not an issue. How much gear did I find? I didn't find any gear on trail. I did have, however, received some free gear from Trail Angels. They gave me new trekking poles. I did get a pair of socks and a t-shirt and those kind of stuff. So I guess I found it through Trail Angel. Any must gear that I had that I couldn't live without? My pillow. I had one of those inflatable pillows and it was the best. So if I would ever do a hike again, I would definitely have a pillow because it's so comfortable. It doesn't take up a lot of space because you have to blow them up, so that's not an issue. And also, I did have those shoes, the booties, the down booties, and they were a lifesaver in Washington. I didn't use them a lot, like I barely used them after the first 3 weeks until we got to Washington. But in Washington, oh my God, they were so warm and it was really something I needed. So I think those two are my lifesavers. Yes. Oh, and a poncho. If you're going to Washington, you should definitely get a rain poncho because it's gonna be pretty wet. Lunch is served. I'm hungry. Last questions from Manuel. What do you want to tell Sweden about the Americans and the America? Well, I would say it is a big country. There's a lot of stuff to see. Beautiful nature, beautiful, what do you call it? Natural wonders. There's just a lot of volcanic activity, a lot going on beneath that surface. So just go explore. And if you want to go to a city, maybe go to a village, a smaller one, because I bet people will be not nicer, but not as stressed and maybe appreciate your visit a bit more. And the Americans, really nice people. I thought, and I apologize for this, I thought the Americans would be kind of stuck-ups, but they're not. You guys are really friendly, easygoing, funny, helpful. So if you get the chance, definitely go to the US and do some hiking or rent a car, do something, and just meet the people and see the world, the American world. That's it for Montreal. I'm gonna eat my lunch now and then probably start with the laundry. So Lenny Hikes has a question. If I think Chad and Randy would like to join me on other long hikes like New Zealand or CDT or whatever. And yeah, definitely. We already talked about other hikes because we all want to do something else. We just don't know what, but definitely. I'm going to talk some more about that once I get back up in my apartment, because laundry's done, or it's not done, but it's on the way. So let's go up and chit chat some more. So a lot of you have asked if I've been thinking about doing another longer trail like New Zealand or CDT or AT or something in Europe or Norway. Or if I'm thinking about settling down. And to be honest, I try not to think about that too much, because once you get home from something like this, your head and your mind is a complete mess. You don't know what to think of everything back here. You don't know what to think of your future, what you want to do, what your goals are, because you want to do everything. You want to go out and hike again. You want to go back to the life that you're used to, this new amazing life and experience that you've done. And also, I guess a part of you, at least for me, wants to just slow down, find something that you feel comfortable and safe with. And so I try not to think about it. I think what I need to do is just chill, like take it easy and just try and find out whatever I want to do, which is pretty hard. I do have a plan, however. I think I told you some parts of it before, but I do now have an apartment back home in Falun, where my family is. So I'm gonna move back in January. And yesterday I got another job. I did an interview a week ago, and yesterday she called me and said, "You got the job." So that's my main priority, to move and get myself organized, settled, learn my new job, and when that's done, I can start thinking about adventures. But I'm really excited about my apartment. It's a good apartment, and it's gonna be nice to live by myself again. And I'm really excited about my job. So it's a customer care for a company, and I went to the interview, and my plan was just to get a job in the customer service. But when the interview was done, they said, "Well, we want to offer you a job, but would you be interested in also becoming a team leader?" And I'm like, yeah, of course. So I'm going to be the team leader now of one region, which is very exciting, and I'm so happy because I get to do something else, and hopefully I can grow in that company and be something fulfilling. We'll see. But yeah, exciting news. So I'm going to start my new job on January 13th. So I get to spend Christmas. Well, I'm going to spend Christmas with my family, but I get to see and experience the Christmas in Stockholm with all the Christmas lights and decorations, and it's the best. So there's some things happening. I don't have any adventures planned, but I guess this is sort of an adventure. So yeah, when you come back from a through hike or a longer hike, it's gonna take some time to get back in your old shoes and figure out if those are the shoes that you want, or if you want to buy a new pair. So a lot to think about. Someone was asking if I applied sunscreen every day, and no, I did not. I did, however, in the whole desert section, I did use sunscreen. Then once we got to the Sierras, I used sunscreen every day. Probably should have applied several times a day, which I did, but sometimes you probably needed to apply like 3 or 4 times because you're sweating, so you keep like rubbing it off, so you need to apply more because the sun in the Sierras is hard. First of all, we had really good weather. Like, it didn't rain or snow any day. And when you have the snow, it reflects, so it's really bright and strong. So you do get burned. Trust me. So you need to use sunscreen, and I did. But then after the Sierras, I stopped because the sun wasn't as hard. How do you say it's hard? The sun wasn't as strong, so I didn't need it. But yeah, sure, there were days when I probably should have put some sunscreen on, but I didn't. By the way, I wanted to show you these. We got a little surprise gift from James and Shannon when they picked us up after the trail. And it's such a sweet, loving little gift. It's little M&Ms, but like special made for us. So we got these little bags full of M&Ms. It says congratulations. And then once you actually look at the M&Ms, they have these beautiful little sayings on them. Like, daily rewards, the trail provides, daily challenge. But look at this. PCT 2019, M and C and R. Molly, Chad, and Randy. That is so sweet. That is so nice of them to do this for us. James and Shannon, you guys rock. So you guys were wondering if I have any injuries that I still feel, and unfortunately I do. Like, I still feel my feet. Both of my feet are hurting, and I feel it like when I'm walking in the stairs, if I'm trying to sit on the couch and make myself comfortable, because I always want to like jam my feet and legs underneath me, like crawl up in a little ball, and that hurts. And also like flexing them either down or up or on the side also hurts. And I did actually try and go to the gym like 2 weeks ago, and I went to the gym to do upper body because I knew that I couldn't do anything with my feet or legs because they are hurting. So I only did arms and back and stomach, but I did the plank, and that fucked up my feet again. So my feet are still sore. So I guess I just have to take it easy, but it is frustrating because I was looking forward to go back to the gym just to try and feel active again, but I'm just gonna have to let that be for, I don't know, another month or so. My knees are still, like, when you've been sitting down for a while and then you get up again, your knees feels like they're like they belong to a much older woman than I am. So my knees are still not in the game. And also, another thing, I don't know if this is actually a hiker problem, but like 3 weeks or so, 4 weeks, I started to have pain in my tailbone, and like not when I'm walking, but if I've been sitting down and I have to get up, or if I need to change the position when I'm sitting, it hurts. And I haven't, like, of course I googled it, and I haven't fallen down or anything. I did fall on trail going to the border, but that was a long time ago, and I haven't felt it like right after. But then when I googled it, said that you can have it either from a fall or if you've been giving birth, which I haven't, only mentally. But also if you've been sitting down a lot. And I guess since I came back from the trail, I've been sitting down a lot more than I usually have, like compared to the last 6 months. But I don't know if that's a thing. That's what. Have anyone else had that problem? Let me know, because it's frustrating. Other than that, I think I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. Well, except for my knees and my feet and my tailbone. But other than that, I'm good. Another question is, you and the boys were an odd match, and I did not ever see exactly how it was that you hit it off. What do you think it was that allowed you to stay together? Well, for me, I guess having social anxiety, it helped a lot to have some friends. But also, well, it is nice when you're out hiking to have a group that you know is your group. So you can have someone to depend on, and you know that they will have your back, like when you're doing stream crossing, or if you're just feeling tired or a little bit down. It's nice to have someone you can depend on. Also, they're pretty funny. Like, they're a good group of guys. And I felt really safe with them, and I felt like I could relax and not really care about how I acted. I could just be myself. And I guess maybe for the boys, it was nice to have someone other than your childhood friend, because even if you've known each other since, I don't know, kindergarten or something, you do get tired of each other. Like, it's hard not to get tired of each other if you spend 24/7 yeah, if you're together 24/7, it's hard not to be annoyed with each other sometimes. And then I was there, and I was a neutral part, and I could tell them to quit it. Like, boys, that's enough. We gotta hike. So I guess that's a good mix. It was a good mixture between us. And then as time went on, I really felt that I want to finish with these boys because we've been through a lot. So it would be stupid, not stupid, but it would mean a lot if we did finish together. So I'm really happy that Chad was with me till the end. And I think we're pretty special because not a lot of people actually hike with the same kind of group the whole trail. Most people break up for numerous reasons. Maybe someone wants to skip ahead or go back home, or they start arguing or whatever. But we stuck together. So that was cool. All right, I'm going to do this thing now. And that looks stupid, so you're not going to be with me. This year's river crossing didn't look too bad from your videos. What were your overall impression of the crossings? Were they as bad as you expected? I don't really know what my expectations were. I saw the videos from Homemade Wanderlust from Dixie, and in her videos the crossings seemed pretty bad. So I was expecting dangerous crossings, but I think also I had the mentality of like, can't be that bad, right? It's just some water. But that was it was bad. We didn't have to swim like Dixie did, but it is deep, and you're crossing on logs that are wet and slippery or really thin or kind of rotten. So you never know if they're gonna hold, and you know that if you fall down, you're gone. Like, they're gonna have to pick you up further down the stream, hopefully alive, but you can't count on that because it's really strong. The current is really strong, and I don't know, it was scary. So, but it was also thrilling and kind of fun in a way. But yeah, definitely keeps your heart rate up. Did you find that making the videos helped you mentally? I think that making the videos was fun because you had something to, or someone to talk to and to tell them about your day, even if it was just your cell phone. And if you had a really bad day, it was not helping, it was more stressing, because you don't want to talk to someone. I guess you just want to be left alone and try and do the work, like focus on the work. But if you have a good day, it's really fun to have a camera to talk to and know that someone will be watching it and hopefully appreciate it. So it's kind of both. The thing that I didn't like though was when you decide to record, to make videos like this, most likely you're gonna get some comments that is not very helpful or fun to read. And it took me a while before I got my first one. And even if it's just one comment, if you have 100 comments and you have one bad comment, it's the bad one that you're going to remember. And that's the one that's going to stick with you. So I had moments on the trail when I just felt like, what the hell? Give me a break. I'm trying to share my experience with you. And this is what you're giving me. Like, but it's fun. And I'm so grateful that I did the videos, because I can now look back on the best 6 months of my life and I have it all documented. So I highly recommend it. Even if you don't want to share it with someone, just do it for your own sake. Definitely. And I got a Swedish question for you. See if you know this one. So it's actually 2 questions. The first one is, vad gjorde du för att hantera din sociala ångest? And the second one is, kommer du att fortsätta lägga upp videos och kommer du att vandra i Sverige nu när du är hemma igen? You got that? I'll be nice. I'll reply in English. So the first one, let's do the second one first. She was wondering if I'm going to do any more hikes in Sweden now that I'm back, and if I'm going to continue my videos. I'll definitely do some hikes in Sweden in the spring or summer. I don't know what I will do. Maybe it'll just be some weekend hikes. But yeah, definitely something. Am I going to continue with the videos? I mean, I can still do these Q&As for the PCT questions. I don't know what I'm going to put up that is not PCT related. And I'm not one of those that do a lot of gear reviews, because I suck at it. So I don't know. Like, I don't want to do videos, just videos like, this is what I ate today, this is what I did today. That's not really my thing, but we'll see. If I have another adventure, definitely. And the other question was, what did you do to help with your social anxiety? Well, I tried to cut myself some slacks give myself some slacks, cut myself some slacks, one of those. And just not be too hard on myself, because if, like I told you this earlier, if there's a gathering or a party that I know of, that I'm prepared of, it's a lot easier. But if it's just something that pops up, like in Walker Pass, we went to the campground and then boom, there's a party and you have like 30-40 people, and I freaked out. And I realized pretty early that I was not going to be able to be at the party later that evening because it was just too much. So then you just have to give yourself a break and say, okay, well, we hung out, we had some lunch. Now, if I want to go back to my tent and hide, then that's what I'm going to do. If I'm going to cry, I'm going to cry. So just don't be too hard on yourself. And just give yourself time to feel what it is you really want. Like, do I want to push myself to maybe have fun? Or do I want to just say, hey, not today? And also, of course, the boys helped a lot. And they knew about my anxiety, so they wouldn't force me to do anything. They could ask me, hey, do you want to come with us to this party? And if I would say, no, not today, they would say, like, are you sure? Like, yeah, all right, well, let us know if we can do anything. So that was a big help. So I guess my main advice is don't be too hard on yourself. If you can find a friend to hike with, do it. And then just be kind to yourself. Well, I'm done. I got my face maked up and I'm ready for tonight. Well, I'm gonna change clothes, but other than that, I'm ready. So what are we gonna do, you're asking? Well, but I've also been getting some questions about the new regulations for the PCT next year, because they changed some things. I don't know a lot about all that. I do know that they changed, for example, if you want to flip-flop, if you are heading to the Sierras and you find out that there's a whole bunch of snow there and you want to flip-flop up to Oregon or something, you can't really do that, or you can do it, but then you have to get another permit for going back. I don't know, something like that. And I don't know, like, it makes it a whole lot more difficult for us hikers. So I guess that's a bad thing. But also I get that they want to protect the trail, because there's a lot of people walking that trail. And it is a very beautiful trail, and if they can somehow try and keep it as undamaged as they can, then kudos. I just hope it doesn't make it too hard for people. I'm actually really happy that I hiked it this year, not another year, because there's a lot of things that we had the last of this year, like Mike's place, Casa de Luna, Scott and Frodo, their last year is next year. And there was a Hiker Heaven, maybe. All those places are shutting down. And also Brenda's, she's not gonna take as many hikers next year, so I chose a good year. But I really hope that you future hikers will be able to see and experience all the things that I did. So I'm rooting for you guys. You can do this. How did you get from it being something you might do, wanted to do, to something you did? Well, I have this thing. I usually do things before I think, which could be a good thing and could be a very bad thing. So with this, when I did Kilimanjaro last year, I came back and I had kind of a like little mini post-trail depression, but it only lasted for like 3 days. And that's when I Googled hike, I found PCT, and I decided that, well, I'm gonna do that one. So I had my mindset that I'm gonna do this, and I told a lot of people because that pressured me to do it. And then once I asked my boss for 6 months off, and he said yes, like it was a done deal. Like, well, I told friends and family, I told my boss, so there's no turning back now. And that's my strategy in a lot of things. I just tell a lot of people, and then I can't change my mind. And I just do it. Like I've done that too with a lot of my trips. I decide that this is what I want to do, and then I book the trip, or I tell everyone, and then I have to do it. Like it's my little secure, what do you call it? My travel line, adventure line, lifeline, helpline, something like that. So if you really want to do something, but you're not sure if you will be able to, like the PCT, because it's a big thing, just start blabbing about it to everyone, and then you'll have to do it. Piece of cake. My tip to you. And also, how did you overcome any fears that you had? I just do it. I know I said a lot in my previous videos, like before, like pre-trail, because people were talking about this is going to be a record snow year, and you're going to have to watch out for this and this and blah blah blah. And in a lot of my videos I said, well, you'll figure it out, you're just gonna have to figure it out. And I guess that's my motto, you just figure it out. I don't think I was scared of anything. I think it was mostly the pressure that if I start this thing, I have to finish it. So my biggest fear was that I would hike for 2 weeks, and then I would feel like this was the biggest mistake of my life, because it would just feel like a big failure. But it wasn't. So even if you're scared, just do it. Just figure it out. Are you missing the trail, the PCT, and the people? So much. Like, there's not a day that I'm not thinking about the PCT. And now I finally downloaded all my pictures to my computer, so I have to go through all my computers. And I'm almost finished with uploading all the pictures on like a Google Drive that I share with the boys. So there's that. And yeah, I miss the trail so much, everything about it. And I miss people, and I miss waking up every day, having to pack up all your stuff, hike, and just see all these amazing places and just feel proud of yourself. It's the best feeling in the world, and you won't know how much you appreciate it until you're off the trail. So you hikers next year, treasure these moments, because you're gonna miss them. And another question is, did you ever meet your fellow PCT Swede again? No, but tonight I will. This is gonna be such a fun night, because I'm going into city center to a restaurant, and I'm gonna meet up a whole bunch of people that hiked the PCT last year, that I met last year before the PCT, trying to pick their brains about everything. I'm gonna meet people from this year's PCT. I met 2 of them, and I'm gonna meet people that are hiking next year. So we have 3 generations of PCT hikers, and it's so exciting, and I'm so happy to meet those guys again and relive some memories. And I know that after this night, my head is gonna be a mess again. But I'm so looking forward to this. So I'll see you tonight in city center with the PCT crew.
Vad ska jag säga? Ska jag på engelska?
Ja, berätta lite vad du heter och vad du ska göra.
På engelska? Ja, just det. I'm Ylva and I'm going to do the PCT in 2020 starting March the 3rd if all is well. We'll see. It's going to be an adventure. Looking forward to it.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Swedish. I hiked the PCT 2019 and I'm aiming for the AT next year.
Jag heter Jonas, men...
Engelska.
Okay, my name is Jonas, but my trail name was Fancy Pants because I bought a pair of pants that were way too large. I almost could camp in them. And I hiked 2018, and the best with the trail was the freedom. And that life was very simple. You just hike, you ate, and you slept. And
Advice for future hikers?
for future, don't buy too large pants. And hike your own hike.
Yay, thank you. Sure.
Okej, Thomas, PCT 22. Det är bra så.
Thomas, jag gick i år.
Engelska.
Thomas, I walked on the PCT this year and 2019.
We've seen you.
I'm Whitney on the trail, and I enjoyed it very much.
I'm Swedish. I hiked PCT 2019 and I tried to find Thomas for 2.5 months.
I'm Ylva and I'm going to hike the PCT in 2020.
Woo!
Hi, I'm Chatter. I walked 2019 this year. Very happy I did it.
Woo!
Yeah, I'm Expendable. I hiked about 1,200 miles this year. I'm continuing next year.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Yay! So I'm back home from our little PCT gathering, and it was so much fun. I got to meet, before I went out on trail, first I met with, let me see if I can get all these names right. I met with Björn, whose trail name is Gandalf, and Jonas, whose trail name is Fancy Pants, and a girl named Ylva. She's gonna walk next year. I met 2 guys that I met on trail. So it's Peter, whose trail name is Sweetie, and Thomas, whose trail name is Whitney. I got to meet Emil, who I was hoping to meet on trail this year, but I didn't, and his trail name is Indisposable, I think. And also some guys who's gonna walk next year and the year after that. So we were a whole little PCT family tree, and it was so much fun. And now I'm even more jealous of the people who's gonna walk next year. But I'm so happy we could pull this off, and I'm so tired. It was a lot of people and it was very loud. So I'm gonna go to bed now, crash, and I will see you later on somewhere, somehow. So thank you for following me today, and good night, y'all.